Oh, hi. It is 80s day at school today. So you get me like this, and I hope you have a bright and happy day. So we are going to work on lesson 2-3 today. There's no spark, so we are just going to jump right in. You are going to want a paper and a pencil to do some problems with me and do some practice so that you are able to do this and then do your homework tomorrow. So today we are going to work on finding the greatest common factor, otherwise known as GCF, and we're going to find the least common multiple, which is known as the LCM. So those are just the abbreviations, GCF, LCM. So we're going to talk about what those mean and how to find them today. So this first problem here says that we have 3 runners that leave the starting line at the same time. Lena runs each lap in 3 minutes, Aria runs each lap in 5 minutes, and Tran runs each lap in 6 minutes. When is the first time in minutes that all 3 runners will cross the starting line together? So they're just running laps around, but they're all running at different rates. So we want to know, when are they going to all sync up and be running together for just a second again? So to do that, we are going to find the least common multiple, the LCM. So we know multiples mean more. So connect those words together. Multiple, more, go together. So we are looking for products of another number of that. And so it's like timesing. So if we're making multiples of 4, 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. So 4, 8, 12. So all the products of a number. So if you're skip counting is another way to think of that. So we're going to start and look at a problem here. Let me get to the start of my work here. So the LCM, least common multiple. We want the lowest number that they have in common. That's a multiple. So we are going to list out multiples of these numbers. So if I am starting with 12, if I take 12 and times it by 2, I get 24. 12 times 3 is 36. 12 times 4 is 48. 12 times 5 is 60. 12 times 6 is 72. So I'm going to stop there and see if that's enough. I might have to add more if I haven't gone far enough. So now I'm going to list the multiples of 20. So skip counting by 20, then 40, 60, and I can actually stop there because I see that these are in common. So it's the smallest number that they have in common. So they don't both have 40, they do not both have 20. So the smallest number they have in common is 60. So grab your paper and pencil and go ahead and list the multiples of 8 and 12. Pause the video and then come back and check. Okay, so if I'm listing out multiples of 8, I've got 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. Okay, I'll try that. Hey, now I'm looking for 12. So 12, 24. Oh, I can see right there they have 24 in common. So their least common multiple is 24. Okay, go ahead and list out the multiples for 4 and 9. So pause the video, try that out, and then come back and check your work. Okay, so here we have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. Gotta make a new line here. 32, 36, 40. Okay, let's try that out here. So I'm going to list 9, 18, 27, 36. So I can see they do not have 9 in common. They do not both have 18. They do not have 27, but they do have 36. So that least common multiple is 36. 6. So let's go ahead and try task 1 here back in Ed. Here asks, how many minutes does it take Lena to run 12 laps? If you drop these down, these are just numbers you may have typed in before. I was super confused at first. I was like, those are not the right answers. Like, that doesn't even make sense. So if you are seeing drop down stuff, that's just numbers you've typed before. Those are not the answers. I was like, 70, where's that number coming from? Okay, so we need to know how many minutes it takes Lena to run 1 lap. So if I look up here, Lena runs each lap in 3 minutes. So I want to know, that's for 1 lap. We want to know 12 laps, and every lap is 3 minutes per lap. So 12 times 3 is 36. Then you should have it right. So make sure you type numbers in. I thought I had to drop it down and was very confused there. Okay, so now we are going to complete these charts here, and we're going to do that skip counting. So 3, 6, 9, 12. If you don't know your 3s or your 5s or your 6s that are on this chart, all you have to do is count. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12, 13, 14, 15. So you all have fingers, so use them. They're a tool you have that's always with you. So I don't care if you use your fingers, I use my fingers still too to make sure I get the right answer sometimes. So go ahead and pause and fill out all of these skip counting. Hey, so C asks us to look at the results from our table, and we're going to look for a pattern we notice about the times in each column. So looking here, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. And then over here, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 6, 12, 18, 24. I know when I'm saying those, that those are multiples of those numbers. Skip counting is the same thing as multiples. We're multiplying. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12. We're multiplying. Multiples are more because we multiply them. So now we're going to choose a sentence about the runners' times, the 3 runners' times that is true. So the 3 runners have a time of 6 minutes in common. So this one has a 6, but I know when I count by 5, I don't say 6, and 6 has a 6. So I know the first one's not true. The 3 runners have a time of 15 minutes in common. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, yes. 5, 10, 15, yes. 6, 12, 18. Nope, that one's not true. So now the 3 runners have a time of 30 minutes in common. Let's check and see. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. That one sounds good. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. So they all have 30 minutes in common. So the LCM for 3, 5, and 6 is 30 minutes. So after they have been running for 30 minutes, they're all going to sync back up and cross the finish line or the starting line together. And it's not true that they have no time in common. They did have 30 minutes in common. So what is the least common multiple? Well, we just figured out the lowest number that they all have in common is 30. So is the least common multiple of numbers in order from least to greatest. So we know 3 was the smallest number, 5 was our next one, and 6. So 30 is the least common multiple of 3, 5, and 6. Okay, so go ahead, and this is asking if you extended the table, that means added to it, what would the next common multiple be? So if they ran 11 laps, tell me what would 3, how many minutes for 3, for 5, and for the 6 for your turn and talk there. Let's go ahead and pause and do that. Oh, and then also make sure to tell me about patterns other patterns you notice?